Hello Onions, it's me, Raver, here to bring you Tom Clancy's The Division review. Now, let me start off by saying, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This game is painfully average. That's it. It's painfully average, so let's get into why that is. Now, average isn't bad, and it's not good. It's particularly neither. It's sitting somewhere in the middle. Yeah, so I suppose we should just start off with what's good about this game, right?
Nothing.
There are some good things. Debbie Downer Dross, this guy. One of my favorite things in the game is the modding system. You can collect multiple pieces of mods, you can add them to your weapons, you can change their look and give them really cool enhancements, especially at later levels. And there's also your outfitting system, which, granted, it's kind of boring, but at least if you like a specific look of your character, the jackets, boots, pants, shirts, the scarf, and hat, they all remain completely the same. So if you like the look of your character, if you care that much, you won't have to worry about it. The gun.
You just got a bargain.
Yeah, because it was free. You're getting ripped off.
Hey, I can see you're looking to buy.
Not really.
Not really. Thanks though.
Buying includes you having stuff that... Oh yeah, you got a beanie now. It's a nice beanie. It's orange. It's basically a hazmat suit. He didn't give you a jacket. It's just boots. Now you got it. See? Looks nice. And the shooting and cover mechanics are on par with just about every other game I've seen, especially like if you're going back to Ghost Recon. It's basically the same thing. There is no real diverging sequence of events that will take place while you're fighting. Bet you wish you didn't give him that med pack, did you? Drossy's too nice. So, yeah, he's basically dead now. Just let me think. Your abilities. There are 3 main skill trees. There is the healer, tech, and security. Basically, as it always is, healer, DPS, and tank. And there are multiple separate abilities that you can go in and mod from each specific skill tree, and you can put them onto your bumpers. And you're not limited to whichever tree you choose. You can splurge into multiple different areas, and you can play as the character you want to be. You can use any weapon, like just shotguns, snipers, SMGs, pistols. I like using the revolver. Anyway. So, there are good things about this game. It's just, when put in comparison to what we expected, like some of those E3 trailers, they're not, it doesn't stand out. Yeah, it can suck at a lot of different points. There is a lot of diverse effects that happen in the game. Like, you can obviously tell that the developers paid an extreme, what's the word I'm looking for? They paid an extreme amount of attention to detail. You shoot like the windows of cars and little chips and chunks will fall out.
Unless it's the front.
Yeah, unless it's the front, but you don't care that much. And their streets are littered with garbage and it's flying through the air. The little birds and rats that me and Down spent so long shooting.
I killed birds.
Yes, you did. Monster. I was looking forward to some drumsticks. Get it? Get it? It is right there. Do not let it go. Do not let... There you go. 107 points. Good job. That is the best part about Division. Shooting the birds. Anyway.
And dogs.
Now, as I said before, there are bad things about this game, so I think we should probably get into that. Oh my gosh, some of these cons. Ugh. You know what I hate in video games? Horde mode, when used way too much. Happened in Destiny, and it's happening here. Is nobody catching on that we do not like these? Do you guys like horde modes? Because I don't. It's about every other mission that we have to worry about this. Oh, Isaac says, incoming hostiles, incoming hostiles, incoming hostiles. And they just rush your position, and it's maddeningly frustrating. Yep, horde mode. My favorite thing about this game, not really.
Which way are they coming from?
They're going to be coming from the left, so I get behind that car.
Warning, hostile forces approaching.
For you who don't know, Isaac is the new Dinklebot.
Yes! Dinklebot 2.0. He sounds like Garrus, though. Ah, man. Let's go into the story. There is, honestly, next to no story. And when it comes to its end, it's anticlimactic, and it just drops. It just has the ball there, and it drops. End boss is completely boring. It is a helicopter with no special flight patterns and can kill you in maybe 1 or 2 hits. Oh my goodness.
And it has some weaknesses of if you stand in certain spots on the battlefield, it can't hit you.
Yeah. And the characters. I can only remember one person, and that's Fei Lao, because the game says her name so many times. But all of those people who give you the side quests, and those people you're supposed to gather to build up the base and to take back New York, I remember none of them. Completely none.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna try and make her really important to you.
Yeah. That's the thing though. You don't have any connection to these characters. They're bland and boring. Yeah. You, one person. They're not memorable. They're not important to me. The most time you hear about them, it's over a transmitter and you don't get to see their faces. Hardly any cinematics. Ah, man. And even going into the character creator, it's pathetic. You could look at what Dross did. You can never wear a hoodie. I kind of get annoyed by that because I like hoodies.
I know, right?
Yeah. And here we are, the infamous character creator. Oh no, she looks kind of like you already.
Yeah, no. Look at the texture.
Makes me wish I could be playing Witcher 3 right now. That thing had realistic beard growth.
I know, that looks like it's...
What's up with all this, like turn you to the left? What's all with this weird stuff happening on this side right here?
That is called... We didn't want to bother fixing it. My fault.
This is so bad.
Is that a scar or somebody paint purple in the face?
There's 5 separate scars. Now, one of the weird things about this is that depending on which face you choose, there are different types of scars and hairstyles, and I don't get that.
Why not just make all the options available for
Yeah, but like say with,
them than those scars?
I think I originally started with like the first or second guy's
yeah.
face, and I went through and they both had different hairstyles. I'm thinking, what? They have very few to begin with, and they're even going to limit it even further. There's maybe like what 7, 8 faces, and then even lesser options for each face varying, and you have to worry about just this complete lack of anything good there. It makes you wonder why the devs even put it in. They could have probably made a relatively good guy and girl character face, and I probably would have been a bit more happy with that than just the startlingly few character options. Destiny has more. For crying out loud. Going into enemy types, there are 2 main factions. There are the Cleaners and the Rikers, with basically the same exact enemy types in each. There's your classic Grenader, there's a Sniper, there's an Assaultman, and then there's like a Kamikaze man that just rushes your position with a bat or something like that. Pistol and a bat. And the only exception, which is for the Cleaners, is that occasionally a few of them will use flamethrowers. And the bosses, oh my goodness, the bosses. They are bullet sponges that do way too much damage. It's like they saw what happened in Destiny and assumed everybody liked that sort of thing. Are you kidding me? At least now we get cover to go behind, but goodness grief, there is nothing good about the enemies. And yes, while I said that while the shooting mechanics are on par and they're really good, sometimes when you're running from place to place, the game can get a little bit stagnant, as you might put it. It gets really weird that like frame rate drops. Is anybody else experiencing this? Did you experience it on your playthrough?
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I didn't like the cover system, how it's all the A button, because when you go to, like I was doing a bunch of rolls, and it was always putting me in the wrong spot.
Yeah, the cover system is not that great. You have to hold down A if you want to get anywhere. Man, you know what would have been really interesting with another like faction of enemies are, I don't really want to call them zombies, but having to fight these infectious humans, like instead of going down to the subways and sewers of New York and fighting more Rikers and cleaners, it would have been awesome if there had been bodies just dumped there that were infected, but these people were still alive and they're just covered in smallpox, and now they've gone completely mental, and you have to go down there. You have to worry about getting infected yourselves while also fighting off and it's in the dark as well. All these separate enemies that are just like covered in smallpox and they're just trying to get you. I would say zombies, but not quite as much. They're still alive. They just, as I say, completely mental. The Dark Zone. It adds a unique level of variation that is not present in a lot of the games. But that's only at lower levels. Going in and getting some good weapons and armor, and then coming out, maybe doing a few rogue ops. But I really suggest do not go rogue at higher levels, because you can go rogue and you could be killed and you could lose so much money and experience, up to 2 to 3 hours of experience gone, just because some dude killed you because you went rogue. And that's money, and yes, as I said before, experience. You lose that.
And gear.
And gear. Oh my goodness. It can be multiple hours. And then for actually surviving a manhunt, you get like 2,000 of those credit points. What is it, like Phoenix dollars? It's not worth it. It's less than worth it. You lose a lot more than you gain, and it's annoying. Did the devs proof test this? Did the devs proof test this, or were they just like, oh, it's fine, let's just let them deal with it?
And for a game that was supposed to be multiplayer.
Oh my gosh, the multiplayer. You know how you can play this game in single player and you can play with friends. The only time if you're in single player that you would see other people is if you go into the Dark Zone or you go into a social area. But once you leave out of those two places and you go into the main world, it's nice enough that there aren't multiple other division agents just crowding the streets, taking out enemies, because there are just long stretches where literally nothing happens. Nothing. It's bland. Yeah, you can look at the scenery and maybe you can go in and loot a few buildings, but there's nothing good from it, except maybe the few side encounters. One of the other things I don't really like about this game is that there are just these areas that are just long stretches of nothing. There are no enemies, there's nothing for you to really find. There might be the occasional building you can go inside and loot for supplies, but it's never really anything good. But going back to multiplayer, oh my goodness, there is no difference to whether you're playing it by yourself or with multiple people. But people at Ubisoft, obviously, all they want you to do is play online with other people. Because if you go through and you play it by yourself, it is no different. You are going to be hard-pressed to complete any mission whatsoever ever with the multiple hard zones, horde modes, and bosses. Oh my gosh. You would have thought that playing by yourself, they would have maybe dialed the enemies back a bit in difficulty, or even just left out a few, maybe changed the boss to a weaker-ish version while still getting good loot. But no. You are fighting the exact same enemies and doing the exact same thing as if you were playing with multiple other people. Oh my goodness. The score for the review can possibly be brought up by playing with other people, which is obviously the game it was meant to be played with. If you do not have friends, sorry if you see this as a mean thing to say, but if you do not have anybody to play this game with, don't get it. It is boring, it's monotonous. I mean, sure, there are a few good things that hold this game up, but there's just a severe lack of variation going on in here. I know it sounds mostly bad, but it's just average.
Hey, but you can't kill birds in a lot of games.
I could find better games to kill birds in. I can kill chicken in Skyrim. Alright, I'm not giving it any more free press. The final verdict for Tom Clancy The Division is a 5 out of 10. It can be raised up to a 6 out of 10 if you play with friends, though I highly suggest you wait for a price drop. That will also give The Division more time for updates and whatnot, and be a bit better game for you to play with your friends. And maybe you can still discover some of the funny glitches that me and Dross found. Yeah, I get out of there. He's like, please don't. What the heck? And he went through the... And you give it to them. It gives you like a small little bit of experience.
Orange juice.
Yeah, the orange juice might have been nice.
Water jug levitating?
Oh my gosh, it is. Wait, go back and now look at it. Maybe it's a genie in a water jug. Check that out.
Just wait until they pull a Destiny and put everything into one game to pay for $60.
Oh my gosh, this is it! In Destiny, it was obvious they cut stuff out. This is it. That's the story, man. Nothing else. Oh man. Let's go play something better like Borderlands 2. Matchmaking done right.
How about
see you later,
we play
Misfits.
Super Mario Party?
No!